It's the MasterChef quarterfinal. And the best amateurs are back.
Every round that goes on and every time you get an opportunity to cook, you just start wanting it more and more and more.
The nerves are still there. It's still really scary. I'm still petrified.
I don't want to go out with this competition being the person that just ran about like a crazy person.
This time they will face just one challenge: to cook an exceptional dish from a brief set by renowned restaurant critic William Sitwell.
Our competition standard is sky high. I'm loving it. We've got some serious talent in here. Only the best are going to rise to this challenge. Welcome to a MasterChef quarterfinal. You have been set a challenging brief to cook either a main course with no meat or fish, or a fruit tart dessert. The person that set that brief was none other than food writer, broadcaster William Sitwell. And he will be joining us to taste your food and help us judge. 90 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. One extraordinary plate of food to keep you in the competition. Let's go.
So the brief I've given today's contestants is based on the fact that I've gone vegetarian just for a month, just to see what it's like. I want to see some originality. I want to see people really think about the wonderful plethora and myriad of dishes there are around the world that don't have meat or fish. My other brief is to cook a tart. I do love classic English puddings, and the idea of a tart could sound quite simple, but I don't think it's a simple option. So I want to see a really good use of British seasonal fruit, and it's about getting the pastry cooked properly. I love MasterChef The Amateurs because it's where new talent comes. And to be honest, I'm also completely starving.
Steve has surprised you and I, and it seems to be his secret is simplicity, understanding flavours that go together. The guy has got the skills, that's for sure. Steve's cooked amazingly well. What I haven't seen from him is pastry work or vegetarian dishes, so it's a challenge for Steve. You all right, Baldy?
I'm all right, mate.
What are you making?
So I'm doing a pea and ricotta tortellini. I'm doing some fresh peas, just going to halve them. I'm doing a pea and mint puree. I'm going to serve that with some pea shoots. I'm making a pea consommé. So it's almost like making pea tea, if that doesn't sound strange. Yeah. I mean, this is really quite a simple dish. There's really one ingredient, which is peas. So, you know, hopefully I can pull that off and make it look good and taste good, yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
He's taking the humble green pea and turning it into 3 different ways. A puree, inside a tortellini and a consommé. But if that consommé is wishy-washy, that dish is finished. Because we've got tortellini floating in pea water.
I hope they like peas, to be honest. I'll be in trouble if they don't.
Faye is one of those cooks who you look at her and say, yeah, you know what you're doing. What I love about Faye is her confidence to keep her food simple and do her talking through the flavour.
The area that I'll definitely need to work on is the presentation side of it and how to make that plate of food look smart and sexy and appealing to the eye. No, sorry. Faye, I came over to talk to you, then I watched you melting all that chocolate in the cream and I thought, oh. What are you going to make? I'm making a raspberry tart with a chocolate ganache on the top with a cob nut brittle and some raspberry coulis with a little bit of cream on the side.
You've chosen the fruit tarts to really push yourself.
Yes, I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I want to show you that I can do other stuff. I can do more than just be a home cook mum.
Faye, we never ever thought you were a simple mum home cook. Ever.
Faye is taking some massive risks. Just raspberries and chocolate in a tart case with some raspberry cream? Is it special enough?
30 minutes gone. You've got an hour left. Billy did us fish and chips with a curry sauce. He then went on to do a beef Wellington. Obviously, Billy loves classic dishes.
So I'm making a potato risotto, so rather than using risotto rice, I'm going to use very finely chopped potatoes. I'm going to curry that with some spices. Then it's sort of flavours of the Caribbean, so there'll be some lime through it, there'll be some coconut milk to get a bit creamy at the end. There's then also some pineapple that'll be garnished with. I'm going to make some tempura aubergine, just as a little side bit that you can sort of scoop it up with and have a bit and get some crunch in there. Classic flavours again, but classic flavours from the Caribbean this time.
Classic flavours? An aubergine and a pineapple? Nothing classic about this, mate.
I think John and Gregg might be surprised when they see my dish today. I'm hoping they understand it, that it still is classic flavour, but it's just from a different part of the world. And fingers crossed that they'll see that different creative side to what I can do and enjoy it.
Potato risotto with pineapple running through it? With some curry sauce and Parmesan cheese. Wow, Billy, you are right out there. If it works, I will be so, so happy for Billy. If that cooks too much, it becomes mashed potato.
Yes.
If it doesn't cook enough, it's raw potato.
Yes, so it's got to get it right in between.
Saliha is a doctor, cares deeply about nutrition. Her food is light, healthy, really colourful and really spicy.
But she likes to push the boat out. Hopefully, she won't trip over.
Massive, massive day. You put getting married, having a child, and then MasterChef quarterfinal pretty much on the same. Well, not really, but it's up there in terms of important and memorable days.
How did you feel about the brief?
I'm really excited. As a society, we eat far, far, far too much protein in our diet. So any vegetarian brief is good for me because it means that it just lets me, you know, cook something that's healthy and nutritious and avoid meat for one day.
What's your dish?
The dish is an emperor's dum biryani and fresh homemade paneer, which is a curried paneer, and spinach pakoras and a sweet lassi drink to go with it.
Why have you got a bunch of flowers on your work surface?
They're going to be used as part of the presentation of the final dish.
All right, I thought you might have had an admirer.
Oh, I wish.
Well, it doesn't matter if he's Irish.
We have a biryani, which has got cauliflower, potatoes and green beans. We've got pakoras, which are going to be really lovely and crispy and spiced very, very well. She's making her own paneer, which is fantastic. A lovely cheese just by warming up milk and adding a bit of vinegar to it. That in itself is a really difficult thing to get right. I think it sounds fantastic.
Alex has got a wonderful eye for creativity and presentation.
Alex loves process, loves culinary terminology, but can he deliver a plate of food that William will indulge in?
Alex, you've got stuff all over the place.
Yeah, it's a bit cluttered. I apologise. I'm making salt-baked celeriac that's been coated in hay ash. And I'm serving that with some goat curd. I'm using the whey from the goat's milk to glaze some carrots. I've got a porter sauce, I've got some pickled shallots and mushroom croquettes as well.
You are playing with probably twice as many flavours as any other contestant.
Yeah, you could say that.
Does that bother you?
I mean, it scares me because it's a lot to go wrong. I'm quite nervous.
You are, aren't you? Come on, man up.
Very few people have had ash-baked celeriac. I know it's very famous in a couple of restaurants around the world. You might say it's quite high risk. It might be too high for the quarterfinal. I guess we'll find out.
What he's doing right now is a dish which is known to be cooked by one of the greatest 3-star Michelin chefs in the whole world. Now, it could be fantastic. It can't be a high expectation and fall flat.
Sharon has proved that she has knowledge of cuisines around the world. I like her cooking. It's full of flavour and it's fun. However, her weakness is presentation. She's got to get a little bit smarter.
As I go in to cook today, I'm feeling as confident as I can, but I don't want to be overconfident because that's when you make mistakes.
Sharon, your food makes me smile.
Oh, that's good to hear.
What option did you choose?
I'm going to make an apple and blackberry tart, and there will be a fruit fool and a peri jelly.
Last time we saw you do something in dessert, I got a lump of cake as big as my head. Is this going to look a little more refined?
This is an individual fluted tart portion, hopefully very refined.
A tart should have equal quantity of something really wet and something quite firm. I'm hoping the mixture of blackberries and apples that Sharon's got doesn't make her tart go soggy. As Mary would say, nothing worse than a soggy bottom.
"15 minutes left. Just 15 minutes. Just 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes.
Oh, it fell. Oh, whew.
Guys, that's it. Please stop. Stop.
Very sexy food.
Nice, yeah.
That looks beautiful.
I think I've over-seasoned it.
Yeah, but you haven't.
Oh, wow.
Well done, you.
Ladies and gentlemen, food writer, broadcaster, William Sitwell. Welcome. William.
Hi.
Good to see you, mate. Saliha, please.
First up is hospital doctor Saliha, who opted to cook a vegetarian dish of Emperor's Dum Biryani, served with homemade paneer bhurji, cucumber, spinach pakoras, and a sweet lassi.
Well, visually, it's a real treat. And great textures, I think beautiful rice. I love the paneer. The lassi is really delicious, but I'd love a little bit more fire, a bit more spice, a bit more heat.
I think the whole thing is fantastic. You made your own paneer, and I love the flavour of it. Your biryani is got free-flowing rice, and you can taste all the vegetables through it, and there's a little bit of spice to it. Your cucumber is nice. I admire all the work. Incredible.
Thank you.
That, for me, is a feast, visually and eatily. It's absolutely beautiful. I love your biryani. I love how it goes sweet and then creeping up with a little bit of heat. I think it's fantastic.
It's such a relief that they liked it. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy.
Naval architect Alex has made ash-baked celeriac, served with wild mushroom croquettes on goat's milk ricotta, whey-glazed carrots and pickled shallots, lemon and thyme emulsion, and finished with a porter beer and malt sauce.
I really like your carrots, and I like your veggie gravy. I'm afraid I didn't enjoy the celeriac. I don't think it's tasty enough to take prime position here. And I'm afraid the balls with the creamy ricotta were a bit dry. So I didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
A huge amount of work in here. What you're attempting to do is bring flavour to the party. In doing so, the whole thing tastes of salt.
I don't like those mushroom balls. However, I love everything else on that plate. I really like that big lump of celeriac with the saltiness. Yeah, it's really salty and it's quite bitter. I like the sweet notes of shallot and especially that carrot. I love your sauce. I think you've been very clever, very daring. The older, more boring fellas, they didn't particularly enjoy it. The younger, trendier one, he liked it a lot.
Thank you. A mixed bag. I think it's natural to be disappointed. I put in so much work, but they're all fair comments.
Yorkshire-based Sharon opted to make a pastry, apple and blackberry tart, served with fruit fool and a pear cider jelly.
Obviously, I can see that you've stumbled with the challenge of producing a perfect little pastry case. And that is the challenge with pastry. It's very, very difficult to do. I hope the flavour is forgiving, therefore. I think your fool's delicious. The creaminess of it really tempers some of the acidity of the blackberry and the apple. However, I love the texture of blackberries. I think it's a shame that you've sort of mushed them up with the apple. Therefore, the whole thing becomes a bit of a mush. It's a few notches beneath wonderful.
Your pastry's very, very short, very buttery, very, very crumbly, and that's why your case is starting to disappear. My favourite thing on the plate is that perry jelly. The perry and the mint together is just really, really lovely. I love that. Taste of the pear, a bit of sharp sourness, and the mint is all really refreshing, and it's lovely and cold against everything else.
I like your flavours. My issue with all of this is its appearance. I just think the whole thing needs smartening up.
I'm disappointed that I didn't produce what I have done at home, but I think the judging was better than I expected.
Call centre manager Billy is serving curried coconut and lime potato risotto with aubergine tempura, garnished with charred cauliflower and pineapple.
Pineapple is interesting, worrying, but I mean, you know, you're the chef. I look forward to seeing if it works.
Thank you.
I'm not convinced that that dish is worth going vegetarian for. For me, it's bits of chopped up potato with curry sauce thrown in, and then the pineapple, it's kind of fortunately I couldn't really taste.
The food I've seen from you so far in the competition has been really big, very bold, very British and extremely classic. And here you've gone right off piste. And it doesn't suit you, Billy, I'm sorry. The potatoes are slightly undercooked because otherwise they wouldn't keep their shape. The aubergine fritters are a little bit greasy. The whole dish has not worked, I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
You've got the texture of potato and a deep curry sauce. There's nothing else going on. But I think it also shows that what you love is meat and fish. And you're a bit lost here.
Yeah. I would have liked to have kept up at least the same standard as my first round. That's not been the case, so I'll just need to take it on the chin.
Mum of three, Faye, chose the pastry option. She's made a raspberry and chocolate tart, served with raspberry whipped cream, cob nut praline, and a raspberry coulis.
If I had my eyes closed, I would have absolutely no idea there was any chocolate on this plate.
What?
The flavour of the chocolate has completely evaporated because I'm not getting lovely, sweet bitterness of chocolate, which would go perfectly with the sweetness of the raspberries.
The thing is, the chocolate is there, and you can just taste it, but there's something about the amount of acid in there which is just stripping your palate and taking away the flavour of the chocolate. I think it's a good-looking dish. I think it's a really tasty dish. I really like it.
I love the chocolate and the pastry. I love the raspberry and the pastry. I like the cream. I think that's good work.
Do I feel like I've done enough? God, I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't call it at all.
We're hoping that I get that little piece in the end.
Last up is sound engineer Steve, who's made pea and ricotta tortellini, served with pea and mint puree, pea shoots, topped with Parmesan cheese breadcrumbs, and finished with a pea consommé.
Very pretty, very elegant. I mean, visually, it was a masterpiece.
Well, first of all, you present a dish which looks amazing. Second of all, you present a dish which, when you first eat it, is very, very subtle, and then the little surprises start to come in, which I very much like. My favourite bit is a little bit of raw leek that just explodes in your mouth, and suddenly you are walking through a garden. I think it's a great, great dish, Steve.
Thank you.
I think it's delicious. I think it's well executed. I think it's very, very clever.
Oh, thank you.
One of the great challenges in cooking is when you start with a number of ingredients and you bring them together, that A, they become something new, but also you can still taste those individual ingredients. You can get the pea, you've got the consommé, there's a little crunch of the bread. The pasta's cooked beautifully. It's everything that it was visually and more because it's original.
That is stunning. Mate, believe me when I say that could be on the menu and in many of the top restaurants in Britain.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not kidding. Mate, I look at you, you're scruffy, you're not very good looking, but we've found something you're good at.
You know, hopefully I haven't sort of set the bar a bit high for myself now. You know, it's really good, obviously, and a massive confidence boost, and I'm sort of expecting to be grinning most of the day now.
We now have to make a decision. So what we're going to do now is ask you to step outside, and as soon as we made our decision, we'll call you back in. Thanks very much indeed. A good day. We did eat well. With Mr. Sitwell.
Thank you.
Genius. Nice to talk to you. See you later. He called me a genius. We have a star today, definitely.
Oh, not off.
Yeah, Steve really did show us what he's all about.
If I didn't know better, I'd say he was a professional chef. The guy is incredible.
Any other favourites?
Oh, Saliha. Saliha, the biryani, was brilliant. I love Saliha's food. I really do. I think it's fantastic.
We had a bit of a disaster today, Greg, from Billy, unfortunately. What's happened on this brief is that we took away Billy's meat and fish, and that really left him struggling. And that struggle resulted in a dish that wasn't good at all.
It didn't work, John. It simply didn't work.
That leaves us with the discussion now of Sharon, Alex, and Faye.
Alex's food has continuously been different. I liked that celeriac that looked like blackened cod. You weren't sure. William didn't like it at all. I like the flavours that he developed. I love the porter sauce. I like the carrots, love the little bits of shallot.
For me, that celeriac was way too salty, and so was the goat's curd, and it overpowered the rest of the dish. I still have a question mark over the flavour of his food.
I'd be so disappointed to leave today. I always said I wanted to get to the quarterfinals, but now I'm here. I just want to get to the next round.
I like Sharon's flavours. I like the fact that Sharon's tart wasn't sweet, but tart.
I'm surprised how deep a flavour there was because she mushed it all up. I mean, there's something quite intriguing about Sharon in the way that she thinks. Her thought process is very different from the other cooks in the room.
If they were to put me through today, I would feel grateful for them seeing something in me and having faith that I can produce what they think I need to.
Faye made us a raspberry and chocolate tart where William couldn't taste the chocolate. I, on the other hand, could taste the chocolate. It was a bit homely, but I think Faye's a very, very clever cook, and she understands how food works.
I think you can only take one step at a time, but if I don't go through it, I will be absolutely gutted, absolutely gutted. I don't feel ready. Don't feel ready to go home.
We're definitely taking 2, right? Who else is good enough to go into knockout week?
That's the question. Some extraordinary cooking. We've decided that 3 of you are going through to knockout week.
The first contestant going through to knockout week is Steve. Congratulations, sir.
Great food, Steve.
The second contestant going through to knockout week is Salia. Well done.
Thank you.
The third and final contestant going through is Faye. Faye, well done.
Thank you.
Alex, I'm sorry, mate. Billy. Sharon, I'm sorry. Almost, not quite.
Yay. Well done, guys. Well done.
I'm a little bit disappointed not to be carrying on fun cooking in the MasterChef kitchen, but I certainly intend to create that same fun in my kitchen at home.
I guess I was a bit too avant-garde today. Shouldn't have cooked with ash. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Just, I should have cooked a tart. Bit of a crowd pleaser.
You know, it's a sort of once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something like this. So I've loved my time, really, really enjoyed it. Sad to be leaving.
I still haven't quite comprehended what's happening and that it's true. Right now, it just feels like I'm on a different planet.
I'm absolutely elated. I can't wait to ring my husband. He's going to be absolutely over the moon. My mum, my family, they're just going to be blown away by it.
I reckon I might be celebrating, yeah. My wife don't finish work till quite late, so there'll be a lot sitting around waiting for her to get home.
Next time, 8 more cooks battle it out for a place in the quarter-final.
It's easy, it's like cooking at home.
Cheesy oat custard porridgey prawns, it's just not right.
Really light, really sweet. It's great.